Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Caribbean, where we take a look at what's happening throughout the region. In today's headlines, former BVI port director and son plead guilty in drug-linked money laundering case. Grenada to observe CARICOM Day with national holiday. And Jamaica suspends consulate services in Haiti after attack. After a short break, we will be back with the details. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Caribbean Alert, and hit that notification bell to receive an alert whenever we upload. Welcome back. A son and his mother have pleaded guilty under a plea agreement to conspiracy to import cocaine in a scheme that allegedly involved the former Premier of the British Virgin Islands, BVI, Andrew Foy. As a part of Olivine Pickering Maynard's plea agreement, she has agreed to cooperate fully with prosecutors as Foy's jury trial is scheduled to begin on July 17th. She has also agreed to many of the acts that were alleged in the initial affidavit, including conversations between herself and a confidential source, who she and her co-defendants believed was a member of the Mexican Sinaloa cartel. Maynard, the former BVI Port Authority managing director, along with her son, 32-year-old Kadeem Stefan Maynard, and Foy, face one count each of conspiracy to import a controlled substance, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, and attempted money laundering. In addition, the former port executive and Foy face an additional count of interstate and foreign travel in aid of racketeering. In April last year, Foy was detained by the U.S. agents posing as cocaine traffickers from a Mexican drug cartel. According to the charges filed, he agreed to a U.S. $700,000 payment to allow traffickers to use the BVI ports with an undercover informant. Grenada has taken the decision to mark the 50th anniversary of the regional integration movement CARICOM with a national holiday on July 4th, acknowledging the importance of the regional grouping to Caribbean socio-economic development. Prime Minister Dagah Mitchell said that the cabinet had agreed to the request from CARICOM for member states to mark the significance of the occasion on July 4th.
CARICOM will be celebrating its 50th anniversary. The Treaty of Chaguaramas created CARICOM. Dominica is the incoming chair of CARICOM, but Dominica graciously agreed, in light of the fact that CARICOM would be celebrating its 50th anniversary, to have that occasion marked in Trinidad. So on the 3rd and 4th of July, CARICOM heads will be gathering in Trinidad to mark the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. At the cabinet level, we discussed, as was proposed by CARICOM, that the 4th of July should be made a national holiday in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. And we are happy to join with our brothers and sisters and other CARICOM countries in celebrating CARICOM, because despite its shortcomings, despite some of the challenges, I think we all will agree that we are better off together and united and continuing to forge ahead for the many challenges that affect us regionally, than try to go it alone. So we certainly want to celebrate and mark the accomplishments of CARICOM. There are many, and we do recognize the need to continue forging stronger relations within CARICOM, within the OECS as well.
The Jamaican government on Tuesday confirmed that the building housing the country's consulate in Haiti had come under attack by gunmen, and as a result, it had suspended indefinitely its consular services in the French-speaking Caribbean community, CARICOM country. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, in a brief video statement, said that the building, which also housed a car dealership, was last night set ablaze and ransacked by criminal gangs.
And confirming that we are aware that the Sun Auto car dealership in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, was last night set ablaze and ransacked by criminal gangs. The consulate of Jamaica was located on the premises, and we have therefore expressed our sympathies to the owners of the dealership, to our honorary consul, and of course advise the public hereby that consular services in Haiti are therefore suspended indefinitely. We are awaiting further details, and again we express our sympathies and also our affirmation that the government of Jamaica in these circumstances have hardened our resolve to play a part in supporting all efforts to returning Haiti to the peace and prosperity which she and her people deserve.
Jamaica had offered to host the consultation that is being attended by representatives of various Haitian public and public sector groups, and is intended to build consensus and allow for inclusive participation in a neutral environment. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis has articulated its commitment to the enhancement of the orange industry and has in fact transformed the Ministry of Culture to the now Ministry of Creative Economy, with Caribbean artists such as Rihanna, Shaggy, Shenseea, and more recently Baron Messiah making waves on the international stage. How can St. Kitts and Nevis, through this new government ministry, promote its local talent? When we come back, we delve into the answer to that question. Welcome back. Now we have joining us the artist known as Dagger to many of you in St. Kitts and Nevis. Welcome, Dagger. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up? I'm good. Doing really well, actually.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on Let's Talk Caribbean. We have not been able to speak to you for some time.
Yeah, I went missing for a little bit.
Yeah. So remind our audience as to who Dagger is as an artist.
Well, Dagger basically came on the scene in St. Kitts in the early 2000s, doing rap music. I had a big explosion with the IREP-SKN group. We had the #1 T-shirt. If you ever had an IREP-SKN T-shirt, that was my stuff.
I think I still have one.
Right. So if you have one of those, that was my stuff. That was my stuff. And yeah, just going from there and just doing the music and just combining everything together, and I had a good run with that.
Okay, so you mentioned that you first broke out with rap in a Caribbean country. Tell us about that, because there has to be a story behind that.
Yeah, it's a long story. We don't have enough time, but if I could just brush on it, when I started thinking about doing rap in the Caribbean, it was kind of weird because it was like nobody was doing it, and everybody was like, why would you want to do rap out of everything else? But I was like, I just want to do something different than what everybody else was doing. And jazz from the Caribbean roots, jazz. I don't know if everybody knows Jazzy Shiverton, but Jazzy is the one that was like crazy enough to say, hey, look, I see what you want to do, and I'm going to give you the opportunity. I'm going to put you in the studio, I'm going to make you a demo, and I'm going to produce a couple of tracks for you. And that's how I kind of like got off the ground, you know?
Started out with rap, but you
Right.
later transitioned to another genre. Tell us about that.
Yeah, like after I was doing rap, like after about 10 years of doing rap, especially in the Caribbean, you can get saturated a little bit because it's not a rap environment. It's not a place where everybody is like listening to rap and consuming rap. So I would always get the idea that I do have to go to a place where rap can exist, where I can do rap and people will understand it. So it was a big challenge. So at that time, my homeboy iBlaze, I don't know if people know iBlaze. His name is Dijon Webb. He plays bass for Grandmasters and other things. He's a great producer. I was working with him at the time, and we were just hanging out, and he just kept telling me that he wanted to hear me do something different. He wanted to hear me on some soca beats. He wanted to hear me do a different type of genre. He wanted to hear me sing more because he knew I could sing a little bit, so he wanted to hear me sing more. So I went with the idea because at the time I was stuck. I think this was like 2015, just after the Rick. The only thing I'd done from that time was Rick Ross concert, and after the Rick Ross concert, I was just not doing much. I was just kind of stuck, and he came with the idea. We was hanging out. He started playing beats, and I was like, "Well, I know I'm a rapper, but I know I can do this because I used to do it long time ago when I used to be in the band with my cousins. We had a band when we were teenagers, so it was always there. It wasn't the choice of music that I chose to represent myself. But once the homeboy iBlaze started playing beats and started really getting me into it, I definitely swayed towards making some soca music, some EDM, and some different, reggae style songs, which kind of like was really good because it helped me to expand my horizon and it helped me as an artist to be more versatile than to just get stuck in the box of rap.
You also competed in the local Soca Monarch competition.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, man, that was fun. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like I did it for the money. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 100 with you. I did it for the money because like artists don't make a lot of money in St. Kitts, man. Artists don't make a lot of money, and like I was doing the cover band scene. I was on the cover band scene with my homeboy I believe. He had brought me on the cover band scene to do some work with royalties band, and man, them guys don't get paid much, man. Them guys don't make a lot of money. So, like I was looking for something else that I can do, and I saw that as an opportunity to jump in. And the one thing I learned from being on that is that there are some monsters in there in that territory that you don't want to mess with. There's some people that's in that genre that's just really good at it. So once I switched over and tried to do that, I definitely recognize who the champions was in that area of music because those guys were tough. And they really showed me that you might be a good rapper, but this is our scene.
You mentioned the fact that you had been involved in the cover band scene in St. Kitts and Nevis, and you spoke about the need to be involved with Soca Monarch just to be paid for your talent. Tell us what you feel needs to be done, especially for the younger artists who are just coming on the scene and need that push, not just to promote the culture of the country, but also to make it on the international scene.
Well, the artist is they got the opportunity to be on a stage that's well put together and stuff. So you got the lighting, you got the stage, you got the opportunity to show people your talent, and that's a good thing. But that's just not enough because at the end of the day, like that's only people from our country, and sometimes, like from my experience, when I was doing the Soca Monarch, I didn't see a big crowd. I didn't see a lot of people. You know what I mean? I didn't see like thousands of people cheering and stuff. It was a small crowd, so it's not much of exposure. It's not much exposure there. But the opportunity I say is to make some money for yourself, to invest in yourself. So that's what I was doing when I was doing Soca Monarch and stuff. I was taking the money and investing it back into my career. I was going and buying studio equipment. I was saving money to go and get a visa. I was doing things that's gonna lead up to the big moment. So that's what the younger artists got to do. The younger artists got to like just take whatever they're making, whatever little opportunity that they have, and use that to propel them to go where they want to go. Because we only a small country, and like when you're all the way out here, you really see how small your country is. You know what I mean? You really see how small your country is, and how much we're really fighting in the world for some kind of attention for the rest of the world to say, look at this little country, man. They got talent. These kids can sing. These kids, you know what I mean? So it's hard for us to actually make an impact in the world. So we ourselves gotta like put the little tiny work in to help ourselves. Like we cannot just always depend on the government or anybody to propel our careers. We gotta put the work in for ourselves. We gotta invest in ourselves. So younger artists, take whatever little money you're making. If you're gonna do the soca monarch, take that money and invest it in your career, because nobody is gonna save us.
We are now seeing artists from St. Kitts and Nevis, small St. Kitts and Nevis, such as Byron
Yeah,
Messiah, really mashing up the place, not just
of
in the
course.
region, but worldwide. What do you think attributed to that kind of success?
Well, I know Byron personally. Like, he was around me, before he really took off. Like back in like, 2016, 2017, those times he was around me. I mean, like if I was a big record label and I had the type of money that he needed, I could assign him and put him out. But I wasn't in that position at all. But just to see him from our country, our little country, doing all that damage in the world, that goes to show the world that we got something to say, that we got something to offer the world. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had the number one song in dancehall, the number one song in dancehall, and big dancehall artist was remixing his record. So that means that he's making such an impact that the big OGs of dancehall are starting to recognize him, and that's like crazy, crazy. I mean, I even saw a debate. People were saying whether he's from Saint Kitts or Jamaica and all that,
Yes.
just because how good he's doing. There's like, oh, they can't believe like, oh, this little guy from that little country doing this well. Hey, hey, we do have talent. We have those. There's a few talent in Saint Kitts that got that special thing that could run the world. But it's just that they're not in the position yet. They don't have the kind of like support that they need. But Byron Messiah was always a kid that looked like he had a lot of like drive. I can remember when I did a couple of tracks with him, and he didn't, he was giving me the flippy floppy runaround. But when he showed up to do those tracks in the studio, this dude just like was fire, and I was like, whoa, this kid is different. So I knew he was gonna blow up. I knew he was gonna be big. I just knew it. I knew he was gonna be big.
You mentioned that St. Kitts and Nevis has other talented young people. What do you think is
Yeah.
necessary to give them that push? Do you think that Byron has actually paved the way for them
Hey,
to become successful?
I think so. I think what Byron is doing right now is opening up the door for Sinkers artists to show them that, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm signed to a major record label. I'm out here I'm rubbing shoulders with the elite of the music industry. You guys out there can do it too. You guys can be a big worldwide famous act. And that's what he's doing right now. He's showing that. He's showing us, which is something that I've always believed. I always believed that we could do great. It's just that we're small and nobody know about us. But I always believed that we could do great. That's why I've always carried myself in a certain way. That's why I've always presented myself in a certain way so the rest of the world could notice me. They could notice, hey, he's from the island, but he doesn't look like he's from the island though. He look like he's from out here. But the thing is, like I always presented professionalism, and I always presented international lyrics and international music because I thought that that was the best way that I could get their attention to bring them professionalism. And we seen that with Byron. Byron has always worked hard. Byron was always putting out records like all the time. Byron was always just really going hard. So him getting to where he's at right now, he really deserve it.
What about you, Dagger? You spoke about providing people with that professional look. You're speaking to us now from a studio. So it says to me that you're still working. Tell us about what you are up to these days.
Yeah, I never stopped working. When I left Sync, it's in 2019. Like I definitely did go under the radar for a little bit because I had moved down south. I moved down south. I was living in Baton Rouge for like a year, and I was really on the low. And you know, I had a lot of good times down there. I met a lot of good people in the south, and also I did a lot of soul searching. I really started really digging deep because I wanted to really know, should I continue doing music? Should I continue doing this? I got a call from a friend and he said, man, don't ever stop doing what you do, dude. Like, this is you. Like, I could never see Dagger without doing music and just being creative and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. You're right. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing then. So after that, I started doing some minor recordings and stuff just to get myself back into motion again. And I was like, I didn't rap. I didn't do rap music 2 years. I didn't do rap music, not even 2 years, maybe 4 years. Because after I started working with iBlaze, they were really trying to push me away from rap. They was like, "Yo, you gotta stop rapping." I was like, "Why? Like, I love to rap, dude." And then he was like, "You gotta quit." And I was like, "Nah, man." And then I didn't do rap for from like maybe 2017, 2018, 2019. Left St. Kitts 2019. Wasn't doing any rap. But when I came back to New York, that's when I was like, yo, this is rap country. This is where rap lives. And that's what really brought me back in the game. And I was like, I don't want to come back in the game like just what I was. So I was like, what can I do to really be different? What can I do to be unique? So I started producing. I started producing my own beats. I started making my own beats and stuff. I started, doing production courses and stuff to learn how to produce. Because think about it, like for my whole time doing music, I never know how to make a beat. I never, I never know how to make a beat at all. I just know when a beat sound good. When a beat sound good, I'm like, yeah, that beat right there, I want it. But what I started doing was making my own beat, creating my own sound. So that's been my quest for the last 2 years, creating my own sound, creating my own beat. I finally got to the point where I could release an album. So I had the time, the space, and the money. So I was like, okay, cool. I invested in a studio and I invested in a few things. After I started making a little money here and there, invested in a few things, and I finally got to the point where I could put this album out because I'm able to produce it, and I got the studio to record it. I got a little bit of money to push it, so that's what I did. I just like invested in the studio and I put the album together, and I changed my name around a little bit because I wanted to be more of a producer now. So my album is called my production name is Red Robe. It's Red
Uh-huh.
Robe Production. The album is called Red Robe Phoenix. Now the concept of the album is basically a phoenix, a bird. If you know about the phoenix bird, it burns up and it regenerates and it starts a new life,
Yes.
right? So that was right. So that was the whole concept of the album was like I've burnt out. I've burnt out all what I used to do, and now I'm regenerating as a new person, a new vibes, a whole new energy, which is Red Rope's production. And yeah, that's how it's been going. It's been going really well. The album, to say like I'm not like some like that's a new name. People know me as Dagger. So if anybody was gonna come check for me, they would come check for me as Dagger. And everybody from Insane Kids and the Caribbean or whatever that know me. But this is a new name, Red Robe, and nobody know about this name. Nobody ever hear about it. Like nobody hear about that artist. And I put the album out, and I was just surprised how well it's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised. Like, it's actually streaming really well on all streaming platforms. It's doing well on YouTube. It's like, whoa. And that's why I was like, nah, I can't quit music. I gotta keep doing music. Nah, I ain't quitting. I'm so that whole Red Rope thing brought a whole new energy. Like, I'm regenerated. I'm ready to go again.
So what's next for Red Robe Productions?
I'm working on another Phoenix. I'm trying to do Phoenix 2. It's gonna be the first one was called Phoenix, Chapter 1, The Flight, which was just the beginning of the journey. Because it's gonna be a whole journey. It's gonna be Phoenix 1, Phoenix, and this might be the last music run that I ever make. So this might be Phoenix 1, Phoenix 2, Phoenix 3, Phoenix 4, maybe Phoenix 5, maybe. But Phoenix 1, Phoenix 2, Phoenix 3, and Phoenix 4, then I might tap out and be like, yeah, I've done enough. I've done my shit. Like, it's time for me to go.
I know
I
that.
try to put some, and then maybe put some, and maybe try to get some younger talent out. You know what I mean? Because I released my album on my own record label, my own imprint, which is BK Records. And I'm hoping that, maybe I could do some distribution to a major label someday, and maybe bring some younger talent on and put them on to do their thing. Because I mean, honestly, like, for me personally, like, I don't really got to do any music. You know what I mean? I could easily just run my website, do other business ventures that I got going on, and just become a better investor, learn how to really build wealth, and just live my life. Like, I don't really got to do any music, but it's a passion and it's a love for it. So I just keep doing it.
Okay. Any hopes to come back to the Caribbean anytime soon?
I would love to definitely come back one day. Not right now because there's not nothing important for me to come back right now for. Like, I could understand Byron Messiah coming back because he's getting a big gig. You know what I mean? He's getting a big gig on the St. Kitts Music Festival, so he's coming back to do his show, which is good. If I was coming back to do a show, yeah, I'll come back and do a show.
Okay. So, Dagger, I want to thank you so much for sitting down with Let's Talk Caribbean this evening and really discussing the issues as they relate to getting that talent on the international scene.
Oh yeah, man, we have to, man. We have to definitely. We gotta continue to encourage the artists that they gotta travel. They gotta, they gotta go to where it's happening. You know what I mean? Because as much as we want to feel like it's happening at home, it's not. It's not happening at home at all. You know what I mean? So we gotta travel. We're too small to think that we're just gonna stay in St. Kitts and do good. We gotta go out there, man. Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
right. I want everybody to go check out my YouTube channel. It's called White Tip. It's called White Tip. It's called You Think I'm Playing. It's where I share my journey. I give you inside look on how I am doing here in the U.S. I also just give you points and stuff, how to really do certain things. Anything good that's happening with me, I'll share it on my YouTube channel. So I want everybody to check that out. It's becoming a real good thing. It's growing really well, and I'm also becoming a really good YouTuber also.
Oh, okay. We'll be sure to look at that. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on
All right.
Let's Talk Caribbean. Don't forget to like and subscribe Caribbean Alert and hit that notification bell.